Hi everyone, this is Balazs from RacingBrick and here are all the details of the summer 2026 Technic sets officially revealed yesterday and today. Yes, once again it is mostly cars. But don't worry, if you are into heavy machinery, we will start with something cute and there is also something interesting at the end. I already posted about yesterday's reveals, but now let's go through everything in a bit more detail. First up, something completely new for Technic, the 42233 Mighty Machines. These are blind bag style collectible mini builds for 4.5 euros or dollars, and unfortunately no, you can't combine them into a giant robot, at least not officially. One thing stands out immediately, every build seems to include at least one of two new parts. A 3-module long half beam with a railing, and a small quarter piece with an axle hole. Both look surprisingly versatile. I really like the concept, I'm always up for Technic mini builds. Not a huge fan of blind bags though, I would have preferred a full collection. But the parts alone make these interesting, so getting a few duplicates probably won't hurt. Also, the Series 1 label is a good sign, hopefully this isn't a one-off. Next up, two new members of the car transporter gang, both priced at 65 euros or dollars. The first one is the 42234 Dodge Viper GTS-R. The main novelty here is the game tie-in, you will get a unique livery in Forza Horizon 6. That's definitely closer to my world than Asphalt Legends. The car comes in the classic white with blue striping. I'm a bit concerned about the color mismatch between the plastic and the stickers, hopefully LEGO improved that. The shaping looks decent for the scale, although I'm sure many people will miss proper custom rims, still a Speed Champions exclusive for now. On the back we can see the features, hand-of-God steering, forward opening hood with a V10 engine, and that's probably it. No opening doors this time. One interesting detail is the dark blue axle at the front. This might be a new length, we've seen it already on the custom garage Ford Mustang revealed a few days ago. Next is the 42235 Ferrari 488 Pista. Yet another red Ferrari. I would have preferred something more unique after last year's FXXK. Interestingly, the front striping seems to be brick built using system pieces, although there are still plenty of stickers. The front looks convincing overall, but the headlights sit a bit too high for my taste. There's some nice part usage on the doors to achieve this angle, and it looks like we are getting this wheel art style in the smaller scale as well. Around the back we get a fair amount of brick build detail, and you can check the engine too. Let's hope the build experience is as good as the FXXK. And now something completely different, the 42239 Batmobile Tumbler. This is a Control Plus set, using the all-in-one hub we've already seen in the Lamborghini Revuelto and Porsche GT4. I was a bit worried about this one, but honestly the shaping looks pretty decent at first glance. Let's just hope it's sturdy enough to actually drive. We seem to get new front tires, similar diameter to the ones on the Bronco, but noticeably wider. There are lights both front and rear, but the biggest question is the steering. The front wheels turns as they should, as you see here, but how exactly the motion is transferred from the hub, that's still a bit of mystery. These sets are all coming in August by the way, so now let's move on to today's reveals, arriving earlier in June. First up, the 42229 Fast and Furious Mitsubishi Eclipse. Same 65 euro price tag, same car transporter gang scale. So far, the only other Fast and Furious Technic car in this size is the Toyota Supra Mk4 from last year. On the back of the box we get the usual feature demonstrations, nothing surprising here. Hand-of-God steering, opening doors, trunk and hood, with a small 4-cylinder engine inside. Looking closer at the front though, there's an interesting detail. The headlights are built using solid white system pieces instead of transparent elements like on the real car. To me, that gives it a slightly rough, almost prototype-like look. Not sure if that was intentional, but it definitely stands out. At the rear, same story, solid red elements, plenty of stickers and no prints expected. Hopefully the lime and blue colors will match nicely. Technically, I don't expect anything groundbreaking here. The real car is front-wheel drive, but I would be very surprised if that made it into the model. At least the NOS battles are included, so priorities are clearly in the right place. Next up, another Fast and Furious car, the Dodge Charger RT. You can already see it next to the Eclipse here, and two things are immediately obvious. The scale is different, and we've actually had this car before. The previous version, set number 42111, came out 6 years ago, which is kind of wild, and this new one, 42231, clearly follows a different design approach. The price is 150 euros or $160, and the 18 plus label basically means a black box for a black car. Around the back we get a better look at the features and a shot from the movie. Interestingly, the LEGO version uses chunkier, more stock-looking tire proportions this time, and the rims even have a chromed look, which is a nice touch. At the front, the toilet paper roll panel family gets a new member, finally a corner piece. This one is printed, just like the longer panels next to it, so hopefully we will get a plain version as well at some point. The headlights still rely on the classic blue pins. Looks like a grey axle didn't quite fit here. On top we've got the massive V8 sticking out, now using the newer engine pieces, and one of the new Mighty Machines parts show up here as well. Small wheel arches in black are nice, and the suspension is soft and bouncy, but as usual, this gives the whole car a lifted, almost off-road stance. Honestly, at this point I kind of wish they just went all the way and gave us the Furious 7 off-road version. Around the back we see the usual nose buttons again, along with some unusual spheres in the corners. I do not think there is any extra functionality hidden here, so we cannot expect the wheelie feature from the previous version. There appears to be a gear shifter imitation inside, but there's definitely no gearbox. We apparently get the standard car functions, and with the 18+ label, this feels more like a display piece anyway. I'm a bit on the fence about the overall look. First impressions are decent, but those system-built bulges over the wheels feel a bit out of place. This is definitely one I need to build before forming a final opinion. And once again, the inconsistent scale among Technic Fast and Furious cars is disappointing. A more unified lineup would be welcome. Moving on, we have the 42241 Bugatti Chiron, now in green. This is essentially the same model released earlier this year, just with a different color. If you like the new shade, it could be a good parts pack, but otherwise there is nothing new here. And finally, probably the most exciting set of this wave, the 42242 Mercedes-Benz Unimog U5023 with crane. I don't have the price yet, I will add that on screen if it becomes available. The legendary 8110 Unimog U400 came out 15 years ago, and this one clearly goes in a very different direction. First thing you'll notice is the scale, much smaller, roughly half the piece count, using the same tires as the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. So yes, this will be a compact model. Right on the box we see the pneumatic functions logo, which is great news. With 2 cylinders, 2 switches and 1 pump, I wouldn't expect anything too complex here, but honestly that might be a good thing. Wrestling with pneumatic hoses in sets like the John Deere skidder isn't exactly everyone's favorite activity. The crane folds out nicely, although precision won't be perfect with pneumatics, and I'm sure some people would have preferred more crane functions. The bed tilts, we get manual outriggers, suspension on both axles, and it looks like proper 4-wheel drive at this scale, which is great to see. There's a working 6-cylinder engine under the hood, and I've got steering and opening doors. All in all, this looks like a feature-rich model for the size. Probably not the flagship Unimog some people were hoping for, but finally, a proper Technic set in this wave. So folks, these were the summer 2026 Technic novelties revealed so far. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you noticed any interesting details I missed, let's talk about them in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications, as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.